Welcome. For this video, I'm going to check out Frogs. Frogs is a 1972 American eco-horror film directed by George McCowan, and the film was produced by American International Pictures. Best way I can describe this film is that eco-horror is those films that involves animals killing people that became popular in the 70s. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the film begins with our protag, a wildlife photographer named Pickett Smith, played by a young Sam Elliott. Yep, you heard me right. That guy is a pre-mustache Sam Elliott. I mean, god damn, just look at him. He looks like a fucking Chad. Anyways, he's taking photos of the local flora and fauna as he canoes through a swamp with a shit ton of pollution. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this was like around the time Earth Day became a thing, so the film isn't very subtle when it comes to the environment. Then we meet Clint Crockett, played by Adam Rourke, who was in motorcycle movies like Hell's Angels on Wheels with a young Jack Nicholson. Anyways, he's drinking and boating, and he accidentally tips over Smith's canoe.
Oh, am I glad you're not hurt. Those canoes aren't very stable. It was just one of those things.
Just one of those things, Mac.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
Anyways, we meet Clint's sister, Karen, played by Joan Van Ark, who was well known for playing Elaine Ewing on the TV show Dallas and its spin-off series Knots Landing. And she was also the voice of Spider-Woman.
You were saying?
Spider-Woman.
You were expecting maybe the Hulk?
Anyways, both Clint and Karen escort Smith to the mansion where he meets the entire Crockett and Martindale family, like the family's patriarch, Jason Crockett, played by Oscar winner Raymond Millar, who was well known for films like The Lost Weekend and Dial M for Murder. And there's Stuart Martindale, played by George Scaff, who was in Alfred Hitchcock's Topaz and The Incredible Petrified World. And he was also the founder of Pace Records in the 1950s. Oh, and there's Michael Martindale, played by David Gillian, who was in the TV show Chips and the film Slumdog Millionaire. And there's Jenny Crockett, played by Lynn Borgen, who was in TV shows like Family Affair, Get Smart, and Hazel. And she was also Miss Arizona in 1957.
Thank you.
And there's Iris Martindale, played by Hollis Irving, best known as Miss Woodley in the Blondie TV show. And there's Kenneth Martindale, played by Nicholas Cortland, best known as Dr. Kyle on Search for Tomorrow. And there's Kenneth's girlfriend, Bella Gardington, played by Judy Pace, who was in Brian's song, Three in the Attic, and Cotton Comes to Harlem. And she was one of the first African-American bachelorettes on the original Dating Game.
One more thing.
Anyways, the entire Crockett and Martindale family intend to spend the weekend enjoying both the 4th of July and several birthdays, including Jason, which is on the 4th of July. And Karen promises Pickett some dry clothes and invites him to join their annual family celebration. Smith then tries to call on their phone, but it's now dead. Then after a shower, he joins the family for dinner, where we meet the two kids, Jay and Tina Crockett, and they bring a friend.
Look what I found. He's gigantic.
Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name is Jacksepticeye.
Don't be so stupid, Jay.
Down, Mike. That's mine.
Now go sit down and eat your food. Jay, you were right. He was gigantic.
Go fuck yourself!
Anyways, Jason and the rest of the family discuss their dislike of nature.
How do we get rid of them?
I have suggested pouring oils on the water to choke them off. That would help, wouldn't it, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, but you'd be killing a lot of other things at the same time.
He's got a point.
Later on, Smith is about to leave when Jason asks him to find a man named Grover, who Jason assigned to get rid of the overpopulating frogs. Which, if you can't tell, they're not actually frogs, they are toads. Don't believe me? Here is an actual frog. Anyways, Smith agrees and later discovers all the dead animals along the way, along with a surprise.
Shit just went from 0 to 100 real fucking quick.
After that shit, we get to meet the rest of the cast, like the butler Charles, played by Lance Taylor Sr., last seen on this show in Blackula.
That is the rudest nigga I've ever seen in my life.
And there's the cook Maybelle, played by Mae Mercer, who's appeared in Dirty Harry and the original Kung Fu TV series. And we get a scene where both Bella and Maybelle bond over having the same name.
My name's Maybelle, too.
Kind of thought so. Oh, Bella. Yeah? There's always hot coffee and a friendly conversation in the kitchen, if you ever need it.
Thanks, Maybelle, because I think I might be needing it.
Well, I can't blame them. They're dealing with some uppity white folks, especially with Jason's bitch ass. And speaking of his bitch ass, he is informed by Smith on what happened with Grover, and he orders Smith to not mention it to anyone else. And Smith wants to leave, but Jason asks him to stay for the night. And they get a visitor.
Come in.
And the family meet another dinner guest hanging by the chandelier.
Somebody kill him!
Say now, what have we here?
What an asshole!
Well, it looks like we're not having snake barbecue for dinner. Later that night, Smith thinks something weird is going on here, and Jason doesn't agree, believing that he can just kill off the animals with pesticides. And Smith drops this.
Mr. Crockett, I know it sounds strange as hell, but what if nature were trying to get back at us?
Nonsense.
Then how do you explain it?
He's got a point.
Meanwhile, both Clint and Jenny are having some marital issues.
Yes, sir. No, sir. All day long. The only one that matters is him. Shouldn't your wife come first?
Now, that old man is not gonna live forever, and that means $1 million or more to me.
Damn, for $1 million, I'll take his ass out right now. Then we get a scene with Karen and Smith where she wants to know what the hell is going on, but Smith can't tell her as even he doesn't know what's going on. And she hints that she wants Smith's picket, if you know what I mean.
Wanna come?
You go ahead. I'll see you in the morning.
Night.
Night.
Go ahead and hit it!
The next morning, the family begins setting up for the celebration, and they start some shit with the kids lighting firecrackers by the swamp, pissing off the toads, and Clint's drunk ass picking a fight with Michael, and then he hits on Bella right down to grinding on her while his wife watches.
Nobody has yet begun to suspect the impending doom.
Then Jason sends Michael out to check on the down power lines. And he gets distracted by an impromptu hunting session, which results in this. Oh, and you won't believe what happens next. The moss comes to life for some reason and strangles him, and then some tarantulas descend from the branches and do this. Well, it looks like he won't be Spider-Man. Meanwhile, at the mansion, Iris sends Kenneth into a greenhouse to collect white daisies for a centerpiece. As he collects the flowers, a dozen geckos and tegus enter and knock over poison, which produces toxic gas. Yeah, it looks like you should have gotten life insurance from Geico. Later on, Smith finds him along with Bella, who is devastated as fuck. And Smith informs Jason on what happened, causing him and the family to cower to the mansion, while Smith and Charles move Kenneth's body. Oh, and this happens.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Where's the party?
Alas, I won't accept commoner food. I require fine dining. You understand? Hmm?
Holy shit! I didn't know we moved the arena to Detroit.
Meanwhile, Iris is chasing a butterfly when she gets frightened by snakes and baby alligators. And in a panic, she falls into a puddle where she gets attacked by leeches and a rattlesnake.
I can see the look on their stupid faces. Your carcass is mine.
Oh, and fun fact, Iris's original death was by quicksand, but it was cut and used in the trailer. Why? Don't know. Anyways, her husband Stuart comes looking for her, and he falls into mud and gets attacked by alligators. And as you can tell, he's holding his own. Of course, the alligator's mouth is taped shut for safety. But in all seriousness, he does get killed.
Nice. That's nice.
And after seeing the danger posed by the animals, Smith suggests that everyone should leave the island, but Jason's bitch ass is having none of that shit and stating that nothing will ruin his birthday party. What a bitch. Furthermore, Charles, Maybelle, and Bella decides to fucking leave, because if you've seen enough horror movies, you know what happens to black people. Anyways, Clint agrees to take them across the lake in his speedboat. When they get there, Clint investigates the abandoned dock, and a flock of golden eagles appear and attack Charles, Maybelle, and Bella, forcing them to flee. Clint discovers that his boat is adrift, and he swims to reach it, but he gets attacked by a cottonmouth snake. Later on, Jenny tries to rescue him, but gets stuck in mud and gets attacked by an alligator snapping turtle.
Gotcha, bitch!
Anyways, both Karen and Smith decide to fucking leave, taking the kids with them. Jason refuses to join them, so the characters just leave his ass, and they cross the lake in Smith's canoe, encountering all sorts of dangerous animals like an alligator and water snakes, which Smith dispatches with a paddle and a fucking shotgun.
Do you think because you don't wear a shirt, you can do whatever you want?
They make it ashore where they discover Charles, Maybelle, and Bella's bloody belongings. See, I told you they wouldn't make it. Anyways, they reach the road and hitch a ride with a woman and her son. And apparently that woman's cool with him walking around with a shotgun. Then again, this takes place in Florida, so... Anyways, they head out when the son there shows them his new camping buddy.
Hey, wanna see what I caught? They were all over the place at camp. Ever seen a monster big as him before?
Later that night, Jason, being all alone in his house, with the exception of his dog Colonel, witnesses a shit ton of toads breaking into his house and mad-dogging him.
Hello? Bitch, what you want? Don't you owe me money?
And with all this shit, he collapses and fucking dies as he is swarmed by toads.
Go beat up the cripple!
Hi, everybody! It's good to be with a fellow member of high society.
Holy motherfucker-moly, let's fucking go!
Don't forget me!
Hey, where are the white women at?
And the film ends with an animated frog appearing with a human hand in his mouth. And that was Frogs. As far as I could find, I couldn't tell if this was a success or not, but it did receive negative reviews from critics, ranging from being horrible to downright silly. Like, I will admit, the movie is schlocky as hell with the ridiculous ways these people get killed, and also not being that scary. And it's very on the nose with its environmental message. And not all of the characters are very compelling, with the exception of Pickett Smith and Jason Crockett, as both Sam Elliott and Raymond Milan are the only ones who give a very good and engaging performance, as these two butt heads over the situation on the environment and the animals in general.
I still believe man is master of the world.
Does that mean he can't live in harmony with the rest of it?
Not to mention, it probably helped that Raymond Milan hated working on this film, as it was hot as fuck and he was sweating from his toupee. And these two are the only interesting characters, as the other ones are completely bland. Hell, even Karen seems like she's horny for some Smith's Pickett.
I nearly came by your room last night.
Why didn't you?
The floorboards creak too much.
I'm sorry Jason Crockett doesn't keep his floorboards in better condition.
Oh, you sly dog!
In addition, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the frogs themselves. More correctly, toads, as both the title and its poster are very misleading, because if you see the poster, you would think it's about gigantic ass frogs eating people and fucking shit up. But nope, they're just regular ass toads. Like, most of the killings come from other animals. And it seems like that the toads are commanding them? I don't know, maybe? Oh, and speaking of the toads, apparently after they were done filming, a bunch of them escaped into the wilderness. And there was over, I believe, 200 or 500 of them that escaped. So, yeah. So, is there anything else I have to say about this film? Some of the cinematography is pretty nice, and I will admit Joan Van Ark is pretty hot in this one. So overall, this film isn't scary, it's very schlocky, the kills are very ridiculous, but it might be enjoyable if you take a few drinks. So I would give it 2 out of 5 toads. And that was the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this. Oh, and if you like my work, support the channel at Ko-Fi. There you can support me with as little as $1 a month, and you get to drop suggestions for any future projects you want me to check out, and you get to have your names in the credits. And if you do support me, I thank you very much, and I appreciate it very much. Stay safe out there, and have a happy 4th of July.
I want to show you my new beanbag punch.
No way.